And there we are. Okay, we're live.
Yay! Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday.
Oh, that is a great voice. Use that voice often.
I do like it so very much. I can even do the whole like Gollum versus Gollum argument and debate.
Oh my. Would it
So we
be
have
Gollum versus Gollum or Gollum versus Smeagol?
that's more accurate. Gollum versus Smeagol. Hey, Jelly Bean. Hey,
Good
Drac.
evening, Black.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it together, but I am exhausted, and I'll explain why once we do the show. It's a silver cloud with a gray lining kind of situation. So, hey, Eric, Banana
Banana Man.
Man,
That's cute.
ba 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 na na, ba 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 na, ba 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 na. Sorry.
Banana.
Yes.
Had to.
Big love to you too, broski. So yeah, we got big announcements, and I'll be able to explain why I've been so freaking exhausted, and still am. I still am. I admit it. But it's all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause. Everything that we have promised is coming to fruition, including the trip to Egypt. So wow. And then later on, we're going to talk about getting through this dark night of the soul because we're all going through it. It seems. It seems like no one is safe.
No one.
Bobby says, "Titez, I can't right now. I'm live on a show, but I would be right there with you." So now we have been hard at work, and I got the clearance to announce this, and I am itching to do so. So 2.5 more minutes till you get to find out what's up.
You can't keep secrets, so we've had to say this was a surprise.
Yeah, because otherwise I would have been like, guys, shh, don't tell anybody.
Right?
Sometimes I forget that I'm live. I think it's just like all of us hanging out.
Well, it kind of is. It's
Yeah,
just they get to see us, we don't get to see them, sadly.
yeah, that's okay.
Maybe someday.
She got a monster from Mark. Cool. Eric says, "Let's go, please." Almost, almost. Be patient.
Wow.
What? Oh, that should fit. That
I
should help.
see you shiver with anticipation.
Oh, oh yeah.
But maybe the rain isn't really to blame. You
So
gonna
you'll
finish it?
still treat the cause, but not the symptom. You got to put that wine on it to get that Tim Curry wine going on. All right.
Oh,
Well,
indeed.
um,
Indeed.
David, maybe I can update you again later individually, but it's all good news, bro. If you can hang out for a few more minutes, we'll do the announcement right at the beginning, and then go shopping.
Let's go shopping.
I love you too, sweetie pie. Oh, and don't let me forget to remind people about the comment situation.
Comment situation. Writing it down.
Yeah. Okay. Bobby says it does feel like sometimes it's just like hanging out. Well, that's kind of the purpose. That's the way we design the show. We can be more professional, as we'll be showing you again with Midnight Symphony. Used to call it Midnight Magic, now I'm calling it Midnight Symphony. But we can be more professional. It's just this show is meant to be chill and relax, and we're fun, and it's just kind of cool. There's a certain informality to the show, but we do got to get balance. So Parafam says, "Hello, LionsPride. Hello, Parafam. Dude, I got to get that little symbol from you guys so I can put it up in the corner."
We really like it.
Uh huh. And it is now time to start Les Show. All right. See you guys in a minute or 30 seconds.
Disclaimer. No longer matters who's crazy and who's not. The world is on fire and no one is going to put it out for us. No matter your race, religion, or creed, we are all in this together. Questions and comments from anyone on any topic are welcome, so long as everyone is having fun. Life is short and nobody gets out alive, so be kind and let's have some fun. Welcome to Morning Coffee with the Lion's Pride. Here's your host, Cassidae Lightwing.
And here is your host, Kristin Harding.
Oh, no, 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 no. Hello and welcome to Coffee Time with the Lion's Pride with your host, Cassidae Lightwing, the lion. I am Kristin Harding. Welcome to the show.
And if you're wondering if that was a hostile purry growl or a happy purry growl, that was a victorious purry growl. Great big zebra. Chased it for years. Or
Was it
maybe,
tough? Was it tough?
At times. And it kicked me in the head real good. Oh, Eldon's in the backstage. Cool. All right. So first comments of the day go to Jilly Bean. I know what it says. It's Jilly Bean. She says, "Hi, Dad. Hi, sweetie." And for those of you who are new to the show, she's kind of like my stepdaughter. You know, I adopt kids, kind of like unofficially. So anyway, so that's Jilly Bean.
Done that.
Oh, and side note trivia for those of you, Jilly Bean is the daughter of our principal photographer, Andre Vian. So if you go and you see our videos of Kristin's music, all that beautiful nature photography, that's by Andre Vian, who has been with us since the beginning, donating photography. So she's one of the people that helped build this channel.
That's why I requested her. It's lovely.
Mm-hmm. And I want to make this official. I've sent the messages through the back channels, but I also want it on live. For those of you who left the company because of all the rumors and whatnot, now it's time for what that cryptic thing I said in the beginning, how I pre-forgive everybody because I've been through this before. Now that I have put my money where my mouth is, I want to reiterate that. I don't hold this against you, especially Mel. I'm hoping we can begin to mend fences now that the promise has been fulfilled. Next, we have Track.
I see the logo.
Yay! Thank you, Weldon. Eric, and then we have Eric with "Hey, Dad-in-law, Banana Man," and I'll get to explaining that in a minute. And finally, for the first comments of the day, we have "Good morning, guys. Big love from down under." Big love to you too, Robbie. So you guys might have noticed we have the Parafam logo in the top now. That's part of the announcement. This is going to be fun. Okay. So now the first part of the show is going to be dealing with the announcement and the promises fulfilled. And then the second half of the show, we're going to be talking about getting through this dark night of the soul. Because I think we're all feeling it. Besides that, I think it would be doing the audience a disservice if I wasn't honest about the turmoil in my own family, especially since we're here giving like spiritual family advice. So you see what I mean? So, but first, comments. All right. So if we don't see your comment, it's not because we're ignoring it. We're not getting all of the comments, and that's just the way it is. Now, if you want proof of that, you can check out the fully produced version of the show, which has all of the comments that we can see right there on the side.
Right.
That side. Yeah, that side. That side. Like right next to Kristin's head.
Oh.
Yay, Jack!
Well, Ayo. We know who you are.
And there we go. Eldon says, "There's your logo, Cass." And he says the commercial is also being loaded into the videos, Cass. Sweet. All right, so then we'll finally have a commercial for the midpoint. Okay, so folks, way back when, in the very, very, very beginning, and pretty soon you're going to be able to look up the old shows because we still have them all. But way back in the very beginning, we told you that part of the plan was to create a channel that sort of rivaled Gaia.com. Now, we're not trying to create a rivalry like, "Ooh, we're better than you," just another option.
Right.
Now, admittedly, our advertising campaign might get a little snotty. But
not us. We wouldn't do that.
I would never be sarcastic. Harumph, I say. But no, we're kicking it around. My personal vote is going to be for something like, finally the answers you've been waiting for, something like that. Because our channel isn't about asking you the same questions. It's about finding the science behind the answers.
You mean like who built the pyramids?
Exactly. So to this end, in conjunction with Parafem Entertainment, we have done so. We have created it. The channel will be available soon for subscribers, and it's a full, absolute channel. Much like you might find with Amazon or Disney. I'm not saying their exact product because I'm not really sure if the lawyers will come in and pop me in the head with a can of root beer or something. But but we all know what we're talking. See, we're probably going to have eventually. It's going to get big enough. We're going to commission a brand of soda called Cass Shut Up, and it comes in a styrofoam can.
And I will buy that.
Yeah, right. So the channel is fully operational. And basically, the ink is on the paper. The rival channels, none of this dramatic espionage that's been going on can stop it now.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
Spine. Ain't nothing gonna break my spine.
Stride.
Nobody gonna hold me down. Whoa, no, I've got to keep on moving. And that's the attitude that's carried us, sincerely. And we've been canceled, 3 times, Kristin? They keep trying,
It just doesn't work for some reason.
Right. It's almost like our technology extends beyond healing cancer. I mean, think about this, folks. The semi-involuntary vow of poverty ended on September 6th. And how fast are we here? How long would it take us?
Not very long.
Right. See, the moral of the story here isn't, look at Cassidae, he's so great. Although I am a pretty kitty, and I do love the compliments. The point is, if my crazy ass can do it that fast, so can you. You can do anything. No matter where you are, no matter what hole you found yourself in, you can get out. And we're here to help, even if it's just with prayers. But part of what we're going to be proving on the show is that prayers are not the least you can do. That's going around right now. That's that meme. Prayers, literally the least you could do. Nah, man. Although I do understand the sentiment and I get where they're coming from. It's been 2,000 years of shysters saying, ooh, just pray and it'll all go away. So there's a lot of con artistry that we have to push back on. But that's why we're doing this with Parafem. Parafem's not interested in the mumbo jumbo. Parafem wants the science. Parafem wants the questions answered and the people helped.
I like that. 2,000 years of shysters. And yet I think about the people that call upon their ancestors and their truth and their wisdom.
Right. And then once you bring in concepts like sympathetic magic and psychics and paranormal layers of reality, then it starts to get really, really, really interesting. The physics become apparent pretty quickly. Actually, the trouble is communicating the physics of what's going on in such a way that it doesn't sound like we're stepping on people's toes. So we're going to be putting a lot more emphasis on this and being more professional and serious, as per the advice of, oh crap, I can't remember his name. He's been in the industry for a number of years, and he was he was not bragging the other day, and he's been talking to me behind the scenes and giving me advice. Bless you, sir. In the edited version, we'll have his name.
Good. We appreciate that.
Yes, and he says we should get more. Basically, he said let more of the serious side shine. Is kind of what he said. So like, all right, cool, we can do that. So yeah, through a combination of multiple efforts, including therapeutic, mental health, communications classes, things like that, we're getting there, right? So again, Gaia.com, we're not trying to say Gaia's crap. We're just providing another option, another flavor. And that's going to be a big no-see. No, sir. That's no siree doodle. No can doozies. No can doosville, baby dolls. a refreshing drink of iron bean coffee. Butter pecan flavor. I still love it too.
Oh, it
I'm
is
still so
wonderful.
into it. Oh God, I'm still so into butter pecan. I'm like, no, I'm good with this for a while. I can't wait to try something new. Yay!
Hey, everybody.
I'm gonna lean in. I think I saw a question. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yes,
But that's why we
Bobby,
have the
we
editing
will.
team.
We will. We
Mhm.
promise.
When can we tune in? The app should be ready in about 2 weeks, and the question isn't isn't when it's going to be open. It's going to be how much content can we get on there in time. We're shooting for 10 shows of 10 episodes each for that first like binge watch, and then we'll start adding like shows on the daily. So
I kind of agree with this. Praying is just a saying. When you pray, your heart is the actual healing energy because your prayers are coming up from the heart. That's very deep. Good one.
Hmm.
If we still had paw points, you'd get one.
No, we're still getting the paw point system is on only on hold until we can get everything like stabled out and smoothed out, because we have merch now, so we can send people a T-shirt with their paw points. You know what I mean? So
Well,
we'll
then I vote she gets a paw point.
yes, ma'am. Add it to the log. I agree with that one, Bobby, and that's why I try to use science as a common language. People, unfortunately, take the way we say it as well. This is the science. This is how it works.
Blinded us with science.
She blinded me with science. Do, 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 do. Yeah. But so we're when we're from this point on, we're going to be trying to use science as just a focal linguistic point or central linguistic point, not as a this is what's what. That being said, it is easier to break the law of physics when you know physics. That's really the only reason I've been stuck on trying to teach people the physics of things. It's basically it's just easier to do your magic when you know what it is, what laws you're breaking. You know, if you know you have to fight. Okay, classic witch spell, most classic witch spell ever. Light as a feather, straight as a board. Right? Say it with me, folks. Light as a feather, straight as a board. Light as a feather, straight as a board. Light as a feather, straight as a board. Light as a feather. My brain's trying to break in with like Ega Chaka, but I won't let it.
I can't stop this feeling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, you know you're fighting gravity, so you're directly addressing gravity in the spell. And if any of you have ever seen Light as a Feather, Straight as a Board work, kaboomsies.
It's freaky. I didn't participate, like physically, didn't put my energy in, but I watched from afar because I thought it was spooky.
Yeah, well, I had to observe for scientific reasons, but as far as back, at least like when I was growing up, boys weren't allowed to the Light as a Feather, Straight as a Board. And then Shannon taught me that's a goddess thing. She's a Wiccan, so she would know. But my point in all this is that the witches, or the little young witches, old witches, witches in training, witches on bitches. And yes, that was a lesbian joke. But the point is they know what they're addressing. They know they're dealing with gravity, so they go right for it with the magic. They know what law they're breaking, so it's easier for them to break it. That's why even high school girls can do this, you know?
I'm just thinking about it. I was so young when this was happening. I want to say I was like 8, maybe 9 years old. How did we even know about that? That's just wild to me. That's like old magic.
Shannon has an answer for that in the form of a T-shirt, and it says, "I am the daughter of the witches you failed to burn." Basically, the witches were smart when they realized what's up, that the burning times had come back. The burning times happen every couple. It's a cycle. So when they realize the burning times are coming back, they go underground and they teach in secret. You know, you might say they take the children in themselves and they hide out in the cellar. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running?
Well, I know that's silent running, but
Take the children and yourselves and hide out in the cellar. By now the fighting will be close at hand. I butchered it a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was referencing. Basically, the witches know what's up, and they know when to take the children and hide out in the cellar. And that's why their wisdom isn't lost thousands of years later after this crap started. And folks, the Pope was not the first one to start this nonsense. It's like a cycle, like a battle between masculine and feminine energies. At least that's the way it seems from my perspective.
Right.
So, whoa, okay, I looked over just in time to see Ray say, "Are you looking for a nightgown?"
Yeah. What? Okay, let's see.
I'm going to
Okay.
mark that conversation as private and say that
I
that's an A-B
know.
conversation. I'm going to see my way out of it. The lion sleeps tonight. No, no, that's the whole point, is the lion no longer sleeps tonight.
I'm away.
Hush, my darling, be still, my darling. The lion watches over the night. Ooh, wee. Oh,
Ow!
fuck. Oh, oh.
Ow! Ow! Oh, here, ow!
Demonstration.
I'm away. Is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
instant karma. Just add water. But yeah, no, the lions are waking up. That's kind of part of the show. The starseed phenomenon is finally being taken seriously by the people in charge because there's just too much. You know, what I mean, how many anecdotal situations do you need before you start seeing that it's a trend? You know, people are waking up all over the place. You know, it is a good time to be alive. I know it seems harsh right now. Give it a little while longer.
Don't forget, you're also human. That's the thing. So many starseeds are waking up and they want to know everything right now, yesterday. And it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Be happy you're human and you get to be here.
Yeah, it's a gift. These chromosomes are a gift. They really, really are. You know, like I tell people, and I've been saying it from the beginning, is be who you are today. You know, like a lot of these rumor cults that like to spread bad news about us, they like to pick on a particular past life and say, oh, you see, Cassidae was this person then, therefore he's evil now.
It doesn't
They're
work
right.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're right. So what? Yeah, I was Sekhmet in a past life, but so were you. I mean, so was Kristin. I mean, everybody was everybody on a long enough timeline. It's who you are now that matters. You see? And that's one of the things that kind of brings humor to the situation, but also breaks the tension is, you know, on a long enough timeline, you were me in a past life.
Hi,
You know?
Katie.
Katie! After the show, I'll be updating you with all the important crap. So,
Happy crap.
yeah, it's all happy crap. All good news, Katie. We've been missing each other. So anyway, but yeah, so the thing is it doesn't matter who you were in a past life. You could have been Jesus in a past life. If you're a piece of crap now, it doesn't matter. You know, it's not about whether or not you have powers. It's not about whether or not you're psychic. It's not about whether or not you're a shaman or a heyoka. It's not about if you're a trans person or a straight person or any. It's not about any of that. It's about who you are in here and what you show outward.
Right.
You know, and the outward part is more important than people think, especially right now. We're sort of bleeding into the dark night of the soul. But you can't solve the problems in here by trying to control what's happening out there. That just doesn't work. It's backwards, you know? So if you're a really good person inside, but you show nothing but cruelty, what does your inner kindness matter?
Right.
You know? So yeah, it's about what you do, not who you used to be.
Right.
But that being said, that's a perfect segue into, you know, some of the other promises are on their way to being fulfilled. I'm actually allowed to say this now. The trip to Egypt is underway. It's in pre-production. It's going to be our first big documentary. So I can't give too much information, but the testing Cassidy's hypothesis. Aha, I'm learning better on how to communicate. Testing my hypothesis is on the list. So it's happening, you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Talk about hold on for one more day, right? Whew.
Right. Things will go your way.
So yeah, it took a while, took several years longer than I initially hoped, but that's what happens when you're working on a skeleton crew. But they're here. The trip to Egypt is underway. The channel is happening. And this is for everybody. This is for the family, you know? Yeah. So we'll be able to give you guys more details as we have it, but we personally don't know everything that's going on the channel. Like for example, one of the things that I'm really eager to see myself is there's going to be a paranormal cooking show available on the app.
Fun.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that even I haven't seen yet going on to this channel. So, folks, it's happening. And basically, it's going to cost $3 a month, and that price was picked specifically because essentially, for the price of 1 cup of Iron Bean coffee,
Very
you get one.
nice.
Yeah, right.
Very nice.
Right?
Well, I'm still stuck on this cooking with Casper idea. I love it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be in any way irreverent, but I love the idea. A
No, I do too.
paranormal cooking show. That's awesome.
Right. And it's like I I can't wait to I know nothing about it other than the general premise. So like there's stuff going on this channel on the channel even I don't know yet. And all brought to you for the price of 1 Iron Bean coffee. That bit will go over much better when I learn how to do it not like a game show host and it has a parafan tumbler. The point is,
That'll be the day.
yeah, that'll be the day that I fry some bacon. Da, 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 da. Bobby says he's renewing his passport this very week. That's probably a good idea. If things keep going at this pace, you know, breaking ground on the sanctuary is basically the next promise to be fulfilled. And that looks to be happening in a few months. We'll see. Life has a strange way of throwing you curveballs. There's a song,
Mhm.
Life is what happens while you're making other plans. Ray says, I was going to say I'm actually over 300 pounds and wear a 2X, but then that's still about the size of the shirts. Oh, yeah, but going back to Bobby's question, we're trying to get the biggest size we can because I'm a pretty big guy myself. Ray's a pretty big guy. I think there might be a difference in scale between Australian sizes and American sizes because a 7X in America is like this, like
It would
fluffy
be a
20.
sumo wrestler size.
Yeah, that the stand-up comedian Gabriel Iglesias, also known as Fluffy, calls that damn size. Um,
Well, I'm going to give a free promo to one of the companies that I have personally worked with and sent clothes to you and Ray through,
yeah,
and they're called King Size. Look
right,
them up because I believe they do ship to Australia. And look at their sizes.
right. King size catalog.
Hmm.
I used to have to shop from there pretty much exclusively before I got sick and then the gut exploded. Back when I was still a very, very, very big mon. You got to say mon because like man doesn't quite like number one it doesn't do it justice and also it's not accurate.
No, no.
Frederick says, "Ooh la!" Or if you're a Star Wars fan, "Ooh la puchuku solo ho ho ho."
And I read it, ooh la la.
Oh, can I change my answer to hers? Can I? No, I know you're a damn big boy, Bobby, but I'm pretty sure you're no more than a 3X in American size. I think. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5, but 7. Well, again, like 7, no joke. 7 is like this big wide. This is not a joke. This is not an exaggeration. Like, look at the size and understand I'm 6.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay. And my shoulders are still semi broad.
Semi.
My
And
shoulders
you're a 3X.
don't remind me how much I've shrunk. Now, my shoulder width is what I miss most out of all of my body that I lost in the gut exploding. My shoulder width is what I miss the most.
Mhm.
I don't even miss the height that much, you know?
Well, you're still tall, but you just kind of bend over a little.
Well, yeah, I kind of have to. Like, I have to like scrunch over right now because if I stand up straight, um,
Yeah, we can see your chest.
yeah, And if I move the camera up, then you can't see my buddy. I gotta
Right.
have my co-pilot. And if you're a new viewer wondering if I talk to the poster, the answer is yes.
I would too.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I think that he's real. It's just, Albert Einstein's one of my heroes, like Tecumseh. So yeah, it is the dawn of a new day. I'm pretty sure we should probably put this in like the beginning of its own new season, you know. So to that effect, we'll be bringing back Midnight Symphony first, and then if we can get that keeping going without breaking the pace on CoffeeTime, then we'll add, back another show, things like that. But now that you guys know what I've been doing all this time with these crazy freaking hours, um, now that we have the time, we can do a lot more, and we're going to go back to a lot of stuff. We're looking at, for example, doing pre-recorded shows about individual subjects. Would you like to talk about that or anything else so I can shut up? People can hear your voice for a second.
You were just on such a roll.
I know.
Well, we talked about just a general subject and going back and forth, getting, each other's points of view, but then also having sort of an audience participation at the end of it, see what they think, and then we'll do a show about that.
Yeah. Now Jimmy says Tesla was better. And I want to say a word about Tesla because I think that if he was better understood, he'd still be with us, I'm going to push back on that a little bit because Tesla's problem was that he was too caught up in his past life. He couldn't adjust, So maybe he was better. We'll never know. He never got a chance to thrive and show us what he could, So man, that dude could have been Tesla's like direct clone for all we know. Nobody ever gave him a shot, So I don't know. Maybe he was better, but he couldn't hold an audience. So, and that's not saying anything arrogant. It's just people in possession of the kind of knowledge that Tesla had have a responsibility to get it out to people any way they can. And, Nikola Tesla, back in the day, Nikola Tesla 1.0 will say he couldn't bridge that gap. And yeah, so that whole situation is, so maybe he was better, but he still couldn't get his shit out, Oh, you're talking about the actual Tesla. Oh, duh.
We had, for those people that don't know what we're referencing, on a different show, there was a young man that identified as the reincarnation, I believe, of Tesla.
Right.
And unfortunately, he wasn't given the gravitas I think he deserved.
Right. So I thought you were talking about our friend Tesla, who eventually sadly self-deleted so that, out of pretty much from what we can tell out of despair, because no one would listen. And that's who I thought you were talking about. Now, Tesla 1.0, actually Nikola Tesla, no, 100%, absolutely, yeah, no contest. I had the pleasure of knowing the man, and I can tell you personally, I will never understand why he refused flirtation, but he knew his shit. Like the stuff that he managed to express was just the tip of the frickin' iceberg. It was just the things he could put into words,
And just to clarify, you're not old enough to have actually known him in this lifetime, but your soul knew him.
Yeah, sorry, I forget.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's just I'm the qualifier here.
No, I knew him in a past life, not this life. Born in 1978 in Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
So, all right, but no, thank you for taking the time to express that and for taking the time and patience to clarify. Thank you, Jimmy, and I agree with you 100%. Like that dude was next level,
Mm-hmm.
So, Tesla's brain was stolen, same as Einstein's. I don't buy. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I'm not surprised by that. Is what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ray says it didn't help that Edison bent him over a table and give an unpleasant afternoon. Yeah, indeed. That is true. But that's in the past. We can't worry about that stuff. What we need to do right now is get through this. Learning from the past is good. Dwelling on it, not so much. Let's see. He says, "In this life, how old are you? Where's the fountain of life you're hiding?" No, 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 no. Jack, you know me. I get confused between this life and others, and it all tends to feel like one big conglomerated
You're
chunk
still
of
living. You're
unconsent.
still living part of
Yeah.
that life at the same time as living this one.
Well, not anymore. She's dead, but at the time, you know. So isn't okay. Basically, as a consequence of the chromosome, which we now have proof that I do possess, one of the consequences of possessing this chromosome is getting confused between the various past lives and this one, because you experience all of the past lives where, like most psychics, right? They'll remember flashes. You experience them all at the same time. You
Hmm.
know, not terribly dissimilar from the character in Men in Black 3.
Or
So
the Dax, like Jadzia, Ezra.
yeah, yeah,
They have other memories.
right. Now, normally it's easier to control it, but I have this tiny little bump, this tiniest little bump that you could ever see, is tiniest little bump. Traumatic brain
Yeah,
injury.
the eyes are not tiny ever.
Right. So you got so I'll slip up like that sometimes and forget when and where I am. It's not an
Nope,
attempt to be deceptive. It's me
nope.
struggling through the traumatic brain injury.
Indeed. One time he said, "The digger you deep."
What was that?
One time you said, "The digger you deep."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Jimmy says, "Who will want to have Putin's brain?" Dude, I don't even want to eat Putin's brain. Which is a bigger insult than it sounds like, okay? Trust me. It's that Lyran thing, you know? But so before we go into the next section, for the
Am
new
I the
viewers,
only one that actually prays that all of that stops? The hatred, the
no.
meanness, the unkindness. Am I the
Well,
only one?
no, but it's kind of spitting into the wind to pray for those things to stop. But
Mhm.
there are many, many light workers attending the World War III situation, which is probably one of the reasons why it hasn't happened yet. We'll talk more about this on other episodes when we're teaching on how to actually like bend light and alchemize these things. But at the beginning, all these light workers started attacking Putin in hyperspace, astral space, whatever you want to call it, and that was only putting more pressure on him. You know,
How to
so
heal him.
since then, exactly. Since then, light workers sort of caught their tempers and they've been adjusting. And what you guys will notice is that the big powers that be are hemorrhaging all of their money. They don't have enough money to wage World War III now, even if they wanted to. Now they're probably going to end up doing a World War III, probably, but it's not going to be this big apocalyptic thing. They've wasted all their money. You know, Russia's having to turn to conscription, which is another word for slavery.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They're having to enslave their own people to fill their ranks. That's not a good sign for their economy.
No, when you have to press someone into service and it isn't willingly done, not good. Don't look at the one right above it. Don't look.
And that's a bad question. Mark Renhagen is the author of my favorite fiction, The World of Darkness.
Mm.
So he says, I pray for it to stop, but when you remove the bad from the good, it creates a new bad. Exactly. And that's part of the reason why, Pleiadians and Lyrans and Arcturians and whatnot fight the way we do. Because it's not a matter of, I mean, sling all the bullets you want. There's always going to be another dictator. What you have to do is show the people the truth and let the will of the people take over for good or ill, you know? And what that does is it creates like a reality shunt, as it were. See, humans are creators, right? That is true. Y'all are a million little gods. That's just the way it is,
It
right?
is one.
Right. So when enough people start to understand the truth, reality starts to give, and that's how you get things like, you know, massive worldwide social shifts. Like, for example, the social shift towards democracy and capitalism worldwide. A better way was detected and it was absorbed by the collective, you know. And I'm not saying capitalism
Right.
itself is better, but when you look at pre-industrial situation, it's better. It's better than it was, but we could still do better.
Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated.
We are dyslexic, Borg. Prepare to have your ass laminated.
Borg. No, Borg. No. I resist.
Longest seaman on Earth? Is that a comment about the length of his Jimmy Joe Johnson? I don't understand. Please clarify, Jimmy. Oh, wait. That was not a comment about your name. Jimmy Joe Johnson is a nickname for a certain part of the body here in America. That was an accident. I am so sorry, Mr. Johansson. Mr. Johansson, Sir Esquire.
I apologize. And there will be slang in our show occasionally, more from Cassidae than from me.
Yeah.
But please clarify if ever we say something that you find offensive, because we won't do it anymore.
Okay, that's a good gamer joke. Ray says it won't be I don't want to set the world on fire. Level bad. Which is a comment about nuclear war.
Because we didn't start the fire.
He is very short. All right, I'm losing it, bro. I have zero idea what you're talking about. Please clarify. I think he was trying to say Putin is the longest statesman on Earth, and which is I think true. Well, I believe it. I believe it or not, I believe it's actually true. I think that's what he was trying to say, but I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of hoping it's that and not something else.
See, Bobby, that's the purpose of the show being like it is because we can have those moments. You ain't gonna catch that on Good Morning America, are you?
No, and not unless they have bloopers.
Right. All right. So speaking of, I do believe it's time for the commercial and then going into the Dark Night of the Soul.
Okay.
42 minutes, not counting the.
In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are.
Okay. So you know the part where the music tames a savage beast? Yeah. That was a little embarrassing, actually. Okay, so all right, this is our first official commercial moment. We'll clean this up so in the final version it's more clean. Basically, from this point on, this show is being filmed before a live studio audience, and that's you guys. All right, so okay, so bam.
You're part of a really big show.
And we're gonna do Roku channel commercial. Okay, and we're back.
That was cool.
We got a couple. We got a bunch of them in here. You want to do a few more before we do a few more?
Do one more.
Okay, and we're gonna do Parafam. Right? Now we're going to have to run those through Filmora and get the volume pulled down a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah, and that's just a preview. There's so much more coming. I can give you a teaser and let you know we're working on an animated Raven to go with one of the shows, but that's about all I can do. That's about all I can tell you.
Bobby says, I'm making a caramel mud cake with crushed walnuts and melt in your mouth icing, date icing. Oh my goodness.
That sounds too delicious.
I know. Now I want to try
Someone arrest him. It is too delicious. Yes.
it. And Drax says, Dark Night of the Soul.
Yeah, Dark Night of the Soul. So it seems everybody is going through some crap right now, and I happen to know Drac is going through some crap, and I'm not going to. Discretion is our middle name, but like it's everybody we've talked to. Like for example, someone had come to us for help a few weeks ago, and as they were feeling a heart attack coming, essentially, and we took it as a, a nasty flirt.
Well,
You know?
it was worded in a way we weren't sure, so we prayed anyway.
Right. But that's my whole point. It's like this person had their own life crashing, and then our life is crashing, and then the two crashed, and it seems to be going around. I mean, can anyone honestly say right now that everything's fine? I mean, that's why we wanted to open the show with the announcements. That we get a good old head of steam of hope going on. Then we talk about the gloom. And I myself am going through it. This is not on purpose, folks. This is so exhausted from dealing with all the crap that I haven't been able to brush my hair even. And what I'm about to say is partially out of honesty because we talk about like family values and stuff a lot, and I feel it would be deceptive not to tell you guys that there's serious turmoil in my own household with my daughter Sarah. We're all going through some really, really serious crap right now. And a lot of people, when these things happen, their immediate reaction is why me? And when it comes to a dark night of the soul, why you? It's to make you stronger because something worse is coming. So we call this the dark night of the soul when you're going through it. And, the only thing you can do really is understand and look within and realize where you messed up. Like in my case, where I messed up with my daughter, Sarah, bad temper. So that's why it's called the dark night of the soul, though, because it takes you through a personal hell, a personal apocalypse of uncomfortable things that we all wish to Christ weren't true, and I'm using myself as an example, not out of ego, but that way nobody can feel called out. I'm not trying to be, ooh, poor me, poor me. I brought it on myself, but that's why I'm using this example. For example, the example I'm trying to go for is the harsh, harsh, harsh reality that I spent more time working than playing with Sar. That hurts. That is, let's just put it this way. If I wasn't already in therapy, I might have to worry about self-deletion. All right. I've been having to fight that. And I'm letting you guys know, again, not poor me, but so I'm going through it too. Even Cassidae, crazy Cass is it, the dark night of the soul, it's a purposeful thing. If you know anything about metalworking, even if it's just like the little bit you might have learned from your character being a blacksmith in D&D or something, you will know that a sword must be tempered.
Got to be forged in fire.
That way it can kill. All right, sorry, I love that show. But yeah, so basically, if you still have a job to do on this planet, which as evidenced by the fact that we're all still stuck here together, then we must get stronger. It's going to get better. I have been promising this for years, and I know it's a long time coming, but now even the human psychics can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're like, 2008. It looks like 2008 is the year this gets better. And we're all sitting here going, you heard it on our show first, folks. You could you guys hear Ray laughing from the other room? That was funny. Anyway, so yeah, it is going to get better, but it's going to get a little bit harder still. And so we must be forged. These last little impurities must be pounded out of us in a spiritual sense, or in the midnight, or after dark with the LionsPride sense. But you're going to have to check. That's a different show. Either way. Well, the thing, okay, I'm making a joke about it because the fact is that sex is the most common self-medication when people are feeling spiritually hurt. It hands down by such a wide margin, it's unreal. Sex beats cocaine, sex beats heroin, sex beats anything as a self-medication. So I feel it's better to just joke about it and get through it. Did I piss you off, or are you reading a comment?
Reading a comment, and it was really interesting because my music was gold is what I saw first, and I'm like, ooh. So Jimmy says I gave away music to a photographer that are awesome, and I gave 6 CD records I made to him, to his work, to have to do on his picture show or movies he plays in. He told me my music was gold. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, the Bleeding Violin Studios art department is looking for a few good musicians. We do have some, by the way. None of you music guys in the music department, I don't want any of you to feel slighted. But we need somebody who knows how to work the electronic, like you make the computer go. Music. You don't get to laugh at me for that,
I think if we put you in front of a synthesizer, though, babe, you would have the most fun. You really would.
Oh, I want to learn it. I really do. I have them. I have the programs. Like BVS is fully decked out. We just don't know how to use it yet. I'm hoping that Mr. Cam Logan can set aside some time to teach me because he's really good, and he's in the music department too. So
that would be a lovely teacher.
Oh no, I agree. So yeah, if anybody wants to, now that the dang thing is finally built and I can hold something in my hand and say it's real, if anybody wants to donate some time, you will be compensated shortly.
It's really real, Dave.
We're even going to pay Melanie for her work. Finally. Just like we promised. I'm saying this publicly because I want Melanie to hear that I am sorry and never. Anyway.
When the time is right.
But nothing for Bree and Sarah. And that is not a joke. We're going to skip that part because if you guys found out all the crap they were pulling behind the scenes, it would be a depressing show.
It wouldn't be pretty.
Right. The point, though, is that during this dark night of the souls, this is the crap that's going to happen. Anyone that has ill feelings for you, it's going to come out. Anybody that wants to wreck you up and throw you down, they're going to show themselves.
But you also find out who your friends are.
Oh, sure. Put a silver lining on my drama.
I'm creating. It's my job.
But no, you're right. That is the upside. And folks, finding out who your friends are when the chips are really down, to quote Kevin Gates, when you feel like you're dying inside, that's a pretty good gift. So the point is that we're going to get through this. Whatever personal crisis you're going through, you're going to get through this. And maybe it's something we can help with. Who knows? At the very least, if you're going through it, send us a message on Facebook or something, or on Twitter. Basically, that's our everywhere handle. So just look that up. Send us a message. We might not be able to respond right away, but very least we can give you a shoulder and a boost up and a hey buddy, it's going to be okay. At the very least, we can give you an attaboy. And sometimes that's worth more than its weight in gold, which is mathematically unsound because that's weight. It's zero weight, and but still. But that being said, the whole point of Bleeding Violin Studios is to lift people up, right? And Parafam, we didn't build Parafam. I'm not taking claim for that, but we help teach them how to use the art tools. And then in turn, they're helping everybody else. And this is what paying it forward looks like, folks. It works. It truly, truly works. And when you're not functioning with half a crackling brain like me, it works a lot faster than you saw it on the show.
Oh, that's part of your charm.
Pretty kitty.
Pretty kitty.
No UFO report? Well, we can do a UFO report if you guys want. UFO activity is just going off the charts, but it's like I've been saying that for so long now, it feels like a broken record. If you guys want to, at some point, we'll see what we can do about getting like a report back from the council and doing another one of them.
I still
Kristin, you
feel
remember?
like
Were you with the show? We used to do this thing where we bring a report back from the council and then watch the other light workers just blow up about, ooh, the Ashtar says.
3 days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So maybe we'll do one of those. But
I still feel like that painting I painted for you is a cloaked ship.
it very well could be. I just know the colors are perfect. My favorite color combo, as you might be able to tell, is black and purple.
No, not you.
I'm serious.
Can I
Okay.
show him? Can I show him?
Yeah.
The cloaked ship.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I don't know what you guys can see because I'm legally blind, so my vision is different. But to me, that looks almost mathematically transcendent, if that makes any sense.
And you
All right.
guys wonder why I'm part of BVS with feedback like that? My goodness. He told me I was going to have so much more in it. I was going to have like more scenery, more trees, more this, more that. He's like, can you just stop? I'm like, why? Am I offending you? No, it's the purity of the flow of the color. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so UFO report. Things are a little bit complicated, so bear with me, but it's a good idea for us to have like an extra half hour of footage anyway. So why not? So the UFO situation is kind of complicated. There's been a split within the council, a massive split. Essentially, there hasn't been a split like this in, I think, 2,000 years, since the Christ situation. Essentially, a significant portion of the council, small but powerful, really kind of wants to enforce their version of what you might call the prime directive, i.e., these people are too primitive to contact. The problem is that this is the direct result of a contact gone bad 11,000 years ago. Actually, a lot longer than that, but it ended 11,000 years ago.
Right.
So what you're seeing, it's not a civil.
An innocent civilization being messed with and having this result is a little bit different.
Right. But you guys were very highly advanced type 2 civilization when this crap happened. So that's the other half of the conflict. So on the one hand, UFO encounters are getting more erratic because they're not as well planned, but at the same time, they're also getting more intense. And that's going to be the way it is. They can't land in Times Square. It'll kill everyone. The humans are like, well, if they're real, why don't they just land? You've got the technology that will allow them to land gathering dust on shelves. That's why. But that's part of what we're doing this for, step by step, we're proving it. Look around on YouTube. You'll see it all the time. Like American soldiers usually is when you find these, is that they'll open up like a wall or something and there'll be these little weird cubes or spheres or pyramids. And they're like, oh, look at that. They got their cell phone. Oh, look, it makes my cell phone act funny. Hee, hee, hee. And then they put a little sticker on them and they put them on a shelf in a museum. And Indiana Jones, I was about to make a dirty joke. And Indiana Jones has a very happy look on his face. But the fact is, that's the technology that will allow them to land. The fundamental problem is one of radiation, as your own scientists have recently discovered. Sorry, that's another one they were way behind me on. Every planet has its own natural source of radiation. You are accustomed to this sort of milk, this sort of mother's milk, as it were, of Earth's radiation, right? Every planet has a different frequency. Elon Musk just had to deal with that in his Mars problem, in his Mars conflict. They discovered there's no way currently to let astronauts survive on Mars. They'll die, period. Why? Because they don't have this radiation, that, non-visible light radiation. So the problem is that is toxic to everybody involved. The Arcturians in specific, their radiation is so explosively bad for humans and vice versa that they have to work exclusively through the gray machines, the little gray biobots, and your own
Don't
people
like
have
them.
evidence of that one. What was that?
I don't like grays.
Most people don't, but grays are fine. It's just there's a bad association. That being said, though, it's the same thing with the Zetas. Time after time after time, people have these encounters with these beings, and they come back massively radiation burned. Well, what you guys don't see is that the gray biobots are also massively radiation burned. You guys don't get to see that part. They can't land in Times Square, or everybody in Times Square dies. Okay, it's not a threat. It's not a weapon. It is a fundamental aspect of physics. The technology to normalize the radiation is still here. It's just being guarded because nobody understands how to work it. So that's part of what the trip to Egypt is meant to bear fruit on. Because if I can prove this aspect, then they'll say, okay, well, here, let's check out some more. And if we can get these devices placed properly, then yeah, they'll probably start landing. But that's why the UFOs are doing these spectacular displays. They're trying to show you guys without a shadow of a doubt that they're here. But because they're sky crew, not ground crew, they do not they underestimate the power of human disbelief. So that's our UFO report. You want to go into specific species? We can. Just keep in mind the farther away from Lyran and Pleiadian you get, the less accurate it's going to be. Do not
Right.
ever trust me for accurate reports on Draco or Lokogoth movements. That is enemy intel. So yeah.
You know nothing about.
Jimmy says 8,000 people he was reading from the news. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. There's a. He says 8,000 people will get taken away to other planets. I guess that's happening all the time, like fire in the sky. Yes, daily, nightly. That's one of the reasons why we teach people how to defend themselves from abductions on this show. The abductions are getting sharper. The beings that took the dude from Fire in the Sky, my people call them Kute. They're on a hunt. They're currently in a harvest right now.
Who are they targeting?
And anybody who won't be missed. That's why the lockdown. That's basically, folks, the real reason the lockdown happened. They found ways to profit from it, but to utilize the common vernacular, the Dracos said, lock them down. And the government said, yes, master. They will
I always wonder.
Don't worry. It will be taken care of, folks. But that's why we keep stressing this is a worldwide movement. We are just one group expressing it. It's all over the world. We are not the one. We are not the Neo. We are not the guy. Maybe you are, but we're not.
Nope.
I personally don't think there is a Neo. I think this time around, the Messiah is all of us. You see?
Yeah, we're connected.
Right. There's a new Messiah roughly every 2,500 years, roughly. So now that could be. I know some of the starseeds are getting warnings that or not warnings, rather comforts that they're going to be taken away and not have to witness the worst. Who knows how it'll manifest? But
Dracona says when it was all hands on deck, some from Sky Crew got shunted to the ground crew without proper preparation.
That's my problem.
Kind of can relate to that, can't you, Cass?
Yeah. And for the new viewers, basically, that's how I got here. I was not meant to be here. I got pulled here. I screwed up my entry. I basically trained, all of the training went into becoming human in this life, and I missed it by that much. But yeah, he's right. It's all hands on deck right now. The spiritual war is raging, and you don't even have to take our word for that. Look to the other shows. But also understand that behind the scenes, the light is working. I'm not sure if I can tell you guys the name of the organization that I'm working with yet, but it's happening. Disclosure is happening.
Bobby, that is so not true. Bobby says, I won't be missed. If something was to happen to me, I don't think anybody will ever miss me, Fark. No, that is so not true.
To put it in Star Wars terms, I don't want to hear that dang ferret coming out of your mouth again.
You know what my grandma would say?
What?
Bourgeois.
Now, everybody feels like that, though, Bobby, sometimes.
I mean, I don't
Everybody,
care. Love somebody sometime.
everybody feels like a piece of crap sometimes.
Hmm.
But no, that's not true. And basically, Bobby, you don't get to tell me how I'll feel. Mm.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't mean it like that.
No, 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 I know. I'm just bringing some humor so he feels better and so he feels loved and wanted. So,
You owe me a hug, Mr. Bobby.
yeah, dude, that's it. You're in debt now, man. You have
Hmm.
got to pay off this debt.
Hmm.
That's it. Or you're gonna reincarnate as a set of anal beads, and they're gonna be my anal beads. So you don't want that. We might have to edit that joke out. I can't tell if she's laughing or crying, but I'm thoroughly amused.
I was laughing. Wrong show.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have to.
A little bit, Jack. Now that I've thoroughly embarrassed myself, say we don't mind answering questions. Mr. Jimmy Johansson, Sir Esquire. We don't mind answering questions at all. We're going to bring some humor to it and a little bit of irreverence because we don't want people getting scared. People have
Yeah.
committed suicide over what's happening, like government
Look,
officials. You
look
know,
at the War of the Worlds. You know, they did not know that it was just a radio
right,
show and they thought it was real.
right,
And we have to remember that a lot of this stuff that they are trying to throw at us, it's not real. It's just what they want you to believe.
right. They
They
want
have
you
to
in a
go
state of
into
fear so they can harvest your loosh.
right. So stand up to them. Don't be afraid. Find the truth inside yourself and let it shine.
No, no, I won't.
Yes,
I
yeah, you
won't.
will. You will. I know you will.
Let it go, let it go, let all this bullshit flow. God damn it, I hate that song, but I also love it so much. But I hate it. But I love it. But it's disgusting. But it's beautiful.
I don't care what they're going to say. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'll do my light work anyway.
Cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah, but it bothers the crap out of me. The joke in the one of the jokes in my old social group is that I was Rasputin in a former life, and part of the joke is how I hate the cold.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I would rather be cold because you can always add a layer. But when it's too hot, it's really difficult.
God, yeah, no, I'm the exact opposite. I'd rather swelter than freeze. I can't do it. I can't do the
Mm,
cold. And here I am in Colorado.
mm,
Logical, Cass.
yin yang.
Can someone explain the military folks trying to leak evidence of flat Earth? Yeah, they're trying to throw everybody off. Basically, the enemy has realized how to weaponize the conspiracy crowd, and now that so many conspiracies are coming true, like rapid fire, they are shotgunning the community with all sorts of crap that is not true. The thing is if humans realize if humans realize how many hands are out and how many arms are open, the enemy loses power overnight. Just overnight, it just evaporates. So they have a very, very vested interest in making sure that your species cannot make contact with Hyperborea. So if the Earth is flat, there's no Agartha, is there?
Ah,
So yeah, that's why they're doing that. Because Agartha is real. It's very real. It may not look like a, eternal field of honey trees like the legends say, but it's very, very real. Especially like here in Colorado, people have regular contact with the serpent folk. They just don't realize it usually, although it's Denver. Look up the Denver airport. That should tell you everything you need to know. No, they actually have murals in the Denver airport of the serpent people, not the Dracos. That's the freaky part. You get up and you look at the painting, and if you know what's what, like anatomically speaking, it's like, the artist knows what's up. But it has the serpent people shaking hands and rejoining the brothership with humans. Murals right there in the airport. And the reason why is because everybody knows the stories here. And according to the old Native American stories, there's a major serpent folk city directly under the airport. So I leave it to you, dear audience, to decide: is that them playing with a legend, or does somebody know what's up?
Artists
So,
always know.
yeah, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. See, the serpent folk are natives here, just like you. All right, they share this world with you right up until the I don't know what to call it. There's no name for it. We'll go with the scientific. Right up to the Younger Dryas event, they were your brothers and sisters, you know. But ever since this fear took hold of your heart, they don't feel safe around you, so they don't show themselves. So a lot of these, shape-shifting reptilians that people are talking about are not the Dracos. They're the serpent folk. Dracos can't shapeshift. They can do a mental projection, but they can't like biologically flex their shit and look human. Serpent folk can.
Speaking of shape-shifting, do you have a cat in your window by any chance?
Probably.
There's like a cat silhouette on the wall behind you, and it
Oh,
looks so cool. It was kind of like from A Winter's Tale when Will Smith's character was Lucifer, and you could see the flames behind him.
no.
You haven't seen that movie yet, so that's a spoiler. Never mind.
So Drax says it's a physical place at the bottom of the world. Agartha, that's one way to describe it. Essentially, if you look at the shape of your world, and your own geologists are starting to see this, okay, with like LiDAR and whatnot. The world, okay, your crust is not like a solid chunk, right? It is a bubbling, boiling honeycomb. Excuse me. And that's where the tales of Agartha come from, is within that honeycomb. And that's also the thing is where the inner earth sun comes from. You got to figure in the legends themselves, it says that this information was brought to you by serpent folk, right? Or reptilian folk that can see heat. So what would it look like? What would the core of the planet look like to them?
A big old sun.
Right. It all makes sense if people just sit down and talk to each other and really listen, not just wait for your turn to speak, but really listen to the person like they're trying to be heard. Then a lot of these old legends and whatnot start to click and make a crazy amount of sense, folks. And that's crazy by Cassidae standards. So basically, if the earth is flat, there's no Agartha. If there's no Agartha, there's no rejoining the serpent folk. If there's no rejoining the serpent folk, there's no fighting the Dracos. And if there's no fighting the Dracos,
they win.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
But yeah, and for those of you who are flat earth believers, I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm going to point out that I have personally, as well as many, many, many others, been where the ice wall is meant to be. It's not there. There is no ice wall.
You got so upset when I sent you that video. I was like, for entertainment purposes only.
You didn't know at a time. I had just gotten done arguing with a flat earther. And the funny thing is, yeah. And the funny thing is, we'd be the flat earthers' greatest allies, frankly, if they would just stop screaming at us. It's like, no, the earth isn't completely round. You do have a point here. Let's explore it. But no, they just want to scream how they're right and we're wrong. And it's like, that's just not helpful.
No. But that is the world right now.
Let me just put it this way, Jimmy. I know karate, voodoo too. So that's a Tom Waits song. Going out west without appreciating me. It's a cool song. Like the guy sounds so tough, but then if you listen to what he's saying, it's actually all soft and pretty, and he wants to go to California to be soft and pretty, but he's actually this big scarred up dude. like Marv from Sin City.
Marv.
Yeah. Yeah, the ice wall up north in Sweden or Canada. Again, it's not there. It is. There's no profit in me lying to you guys on that one. There's no profit in me lying at all. I mean, I already have hard enough time being crazy. But now my first science was marine biology. So yeah, I've been there. And no, there's no ice wall. I almost wish there was, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Waits has hasn't been in movies too. Fucking first F-bomb of the show. I got an hour and 15 minutes before I slipped up. I am getting better.
You are.
Mystery Men. Tom Waits played the mad scientist in the movie Mystery Men, and thank you. All right. So yeah, there's so much to talk about. We could do like 16-hour shows back to back to back and not cover it. But we ain't gonna do that.
Nope.
I gotta finish beating Cyberpunk 2077. Like the world will end if I don't beat the video game. I mean,
Really?
Nobody's buying that, are they?
Really?
What flavor is that Gatorade, Cass? Oh crap! No, you're right. Ooh, and subtle too, broski. That was nice. Okay, so we have a mandate. We can't be showing brand labels. So I just want to note how slick that was. Elton just slipped that in, like, dude, get the brand off the show, without sounding like a jack, without sound. Slick, Eldon. I'm taking care of it right now, sir. It won't happen again.
No labels. No labels unless they're ours.
Yeah. And that's a good lesson, by the way, that you guys can take home. If you see somebody screwing up, you don't have to be like, hey! You can be slick, like Eldon. Be an Eldon, not a Cass.
Well, don't be too subtle. Because sometimes you give hints that are so subtle, you're like, wait, what?
Oops.
Somewhere in between.
And while we're on the subject of cleaning up the show, this is a fake. It's made of metal. It's not real. It's just so I have something to fidget with and feel like I'm cool. But I'm not cool. But I like to feel like I'm cool. So yeah. He said that was so weird how that slipped out, Cass. Tact. Yeah. No, you guys are right. And I probably shouldn't be sticking my tongue out at the camera either. But I'm getting better.
Indeed. Is that all for now, dear lights?
Well, I just want to wrap it up with a nice ribbon because the audience just gave me a really good way to wrap it up. Basically, I want to say thank you because, I mean, I was a wild animal when I first started the show in multiple ways. I was still half crazed from being gored, And thank you all for your support. Thank you all for seeing past the beast to the person underneath all this time. It was weird in the beginning, and now I've grown accustomed to it. Now I'm not sure I could live without it, but people expecting better of me was the best thing that could have possibly happened. As my whole life, it's just been, he's just a wild animal. Just don't get in his way. It's good to be thought of as a person. And thank you all for that. And that's how we get through the dark night of the soul.
Find those people that lift you up. Find those people that share your ideas and your beliefs.
Yeah.
And talk to them, Get back in touch with people. It is in solitude and quiet that we start to spin. We don't have to.
No.
You're never alone unless you want to be.
Right. And Jimmy Johnson just proved the point. It would be good if you could play music live. Yeah, it would. We could work on that. We could make that happen. If Tom McDonald can do it, so can we. Great idea. I almost dropped another F-bomb. Great idea, Jimmy. This is what she's talking about right here. Now, I don't know if Jimmy timed that on purpose or what. Or maybe I'm just seeing crap where I shouldn't.
No, you're seeing connections.
Yes, okay, so I am right. This is what you're talking about. He, like, exemplified it while you were talking.
Amazing
Okay.
how that happened.
Yeah, all right. I was worried I was interrupting you, not
No,
supporting.
you were connecting the dots.
Dot, dot, dot. 1, dot, 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 and 1, dot, and we love you too, bro. And so I think that's right. That's a good. We love you, everybody.
Alrighty then. That's all for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining us. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well. Be safe out there. And we'll see you on the next show. Bye.
That was humiliating beyond belief.
What was?
My thing came open and like you
It's
could see
so
right.
live.
This is not funny. This is gonna be funny in like 20 minutes, but for right now, it's not funny. My vest came open and you can see everything for a second.
And
Yeah, ending. Love you guys. Bye bye. Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, god dang it. Ah! See, this gets you thrown all off. This is why we have an editing section.
oh, he's so cute.
That's all the time we have for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button and share with your friends. We have a great many people to reach, but we are only as strong as our signal. The world can be a scary place, but you don't have to face it alone. We love you, everybody. Be safe out there.